Most women have been told a lie, that the only way to deal with vaginal dryness after menopause is by taking hormones. That's not true. And if you've been struggling with dryness, irritation, pain during intimacy, or even recurrent infections, you deserve to know the truth. Hormones are not the only path. In fact, for many women, they're not even the best path. Today, I'm going to show you natural, science-backed ways to restore comfort, moisture, and confidence without touching synthetic estrogen or progesterone. The problem begins with estrogen. Around menopause, estrogen levels decline, and with that decline comes thinning of the vaginal tissues, reduced elasticity, and decreased blood flow. But here's the part that many people don't realize. Dryness is not just about estrogen. It's about circulation, hydration, microbiome balance, and even the foods you eat. Once you understand these mechanisms, you'll see that dryness can be improved, often dramatically, without ever relying on hormones. Think of your vagina as a living ecosystem. It's made up of tissues that need nutrients, blood supply, and lubrication. It's also home to a delicate microbiome of bacteria that protect you from infections and keep your pH balanced. When estrogen drops, those tissues get less blood flow, less oxygen, and less support for their microbiome. That's why many women suddenly experience burning, itching, or pain. But if we can restore circulation, feed the microbiome, and strengthen the tissue with the right nutrients, you can feel youthful and moist again, naturally. I want you to imagine this. A woman in her late 50s comes to my office. She hasn't had intimacy with her husband in almost a year because the pain is too sharp. She's embarrassed. She feels like she's lost a part of herself. She doesn't want hormones because of her family history of breast cancer. She's terrified she has no options. Within 6 weeks of following specific strategies I'm about to share with you, she reports that her natural lubrication has returned. By 3 months, she says intimacy feels comfortable again. This is not magic, it's biology. And if it worked for her, it can work for you. Let's start with hydration. Not from the outside, but from within. Your vaginal tissues are like a sponge. They hold water, but only if your body has enough electrolytes in circulation to deliver that water to the cells. Drinking plain water is good, but not enough. You need minerals, magnesium, potassium, sodium in balance. That's why women who add coconut water, bone broth, or mineral-rich spring water to their routine often see better hydration in their skin and mucous membranes, including the vagina. Without electrolytes, water just passes through you. With them, your tissues hold on to it. But hydration alone isn't enough. We must talk about circulation. When blood flow decreases, lubrication decreases. One natural way to restore circulation is with pelvic floor exercises. You may know them as Kegels, but the secret is not just squeezing. The secret is alternating squeeze and release like a pump. Every time you contract and release those muscles, you're pushing fresh blood into the vaginal tissues. Over time, that blood flow stimulates new nerve endings and encourages moisture. Think of it like exercising any other muscle: more movement, more oxygen, more vitality. Here's another overlooked factor: the microbiome. The vagina is naturally acidic, usually with a pH around 3.8 to 4.5. That acidity protects you by feeding good bacteria like lactobacillus, which in turn produce lactic acid and hydrogen peroxide, natural lubricants, and antimicrobials. But when estrogen declines, glycogen in the vaginal lining also declines. That glycogen was food for your good bacteria. Without it, the microbiome weakens, bad bacteria take over, and dryness worsens. The solution? Prebiotics and probiotics. Eating foods like fermented vegetables, kefir, and unsweetened yogurt feeds your microbiome. There are also vaginal probiotics you can use directly, restoring balance and supporting natural lubrication. And here's something most doctors won't tell you. Certain oils and fats are critical for vaginal tissue health. Your vaginal walls are lined with cells that have lipid membranes. Without enough healthy fats, those membranes get stiff and fragile. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in flax seeds, chia seeds, and fish oil, keep those membranes flexible and moist. Women who eat a diet rich in these fats often notice smoother skin and more comfortable vaginal tissue. Coconut oil, applied externally as a natural moisturizer, can also provide immediate relief without disrupting pH like many commercial lubricants do. But we're just scratching the surface. Soon, I'm going to share with you one specific nutrient that directly rebuilds vaginal tissue, something most women are deficient in after menopause. When you supply it, the tissues respond quickly, becoming thicker, more elastic, and less dry. Keep listening, because this may be the key you've been missing. For now, let's address stress. You might not think stress has anything to do with vaginal dryness, but it does. When your cortisol levels are high, your body diverts resources away from reproduction and sexual health. Blood flow shifts towards survival organs, not your pelvis. The result? Dryness, low libido, even pain. This is why meditation, breathing exercises, or even 5 minutes of daily relaxation can literally change vaginal moisture. By lowering cortisol, you restore blood flow where it's needed most. Another point we must talk about is diet. Sugary foods feed yeast and harmful bacteria. High sugar intake also stiffens tissues through a process called glycation, basically sugar molecules attaching to collagen and making it brittle. That means not only does sugar dry out your skin, it also dries out your vagina. Cutting back on sugar while adding antioxidant-rich foods like berries, green tea, and leafy greens helps protect collagen and keep tissues supple. I also recommend phytoestrogens. Now, don't misunderstand, these are not hormones. They're plant compounds that mimic estrogen weakly, binding to receptors and offering mild relief without the risks of synthetic hormones. Foods like flax seeds, soy, and red clover tea are natural sources. Many women who add these into their diet report noticeable improvement in lubrication within weeks. Now, let me foreshadow something very important. Later in this talk, I'll explain a little-known amino acid that rebuilds collagen in your vaginal walls, making them plumper and more resilient. When you combine that with circulation exercises and probiotic support, it's almost like turning back the clock. But before I reveal it, we need to cover one more foundation: sleep. During deep sleep, your body produces growth hormone, which repairs tissues throughout your body, including vaginal tissues. Women who are sleep-deprived often complain of more dryness, more discomfort, and lower libido. Prioritizing 7 to 8 hours of sleep is not optional. It's essential if you want natural lubrication. So far, we've uncovered hydration, circulation, microbiome health, healthy fats, stress reduction, sugar control, phytoestrogens, and sleep. Each of these lays the foundation. But there are advanced steps we can layer on top: nutrients, natural moisturizers, and even recipes you can start using this week. I promise by the end of this talk, you'll have a step-by-step roadmap to restore comfort without hormones. The nutrient I hinted at earlier is L-arginine. Most women have never heard it mentioned in the context of vaginal health, but it's one of the most powerful tools we have for reversing dryness naturally. L-arginine is an amino acid, a building block of protein, but its real magic lies in how it transforms into nitric oxide in your body. Nitric oxide dilates blood vessels, increasing circulation. More circulation means more oxygen and nutrients reaching your vaginal tissues. That increased blood flow also triggers your body to produce more natural lubrication. Several studies have shown that topical creams containing L-arginine improve sexual function in postmenopausal women. But you don't even need a cream. You can increase L-arginine through foods like pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, lentils, chickpeas, and turkey. Or you can take it in supplement form, typically around 2,000 to 6,000 milligrams daily, depending on your health status. Within weeks, many women notice not only better vaginal lubrication, but also stronger pelvic floor function and even enhanced sensation. Now let's connect this with collagen. Vaginal tissues are supported by a collagen-rich structure, much like the skin on your face. After menopause, collagen production drops by as much as 30% in the first 5 years. That's why tissues become thinner and more fragile. But when you combine L-arginine for circulation with collagen-building nutrients like vitamin C and glycine, you create the perfect environment for repair. Vitamin C stimulates collagen synthesis, while glycine, another amino acid, provides raw material. Together, they rebuild the scaffolding of your vaginal walls, making them thicker, stronger, and more hydrated. Here's an actionable recipe you can start with: a collagen-boosting smoothie. Blend 1 scoop of collagen peptides, half a cup of blueberries, 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds, and a handful of spinach. Add water or almond milk and drink it daily. This single recipe delivers collagen, antioxidants, and phytoestrogens in 1 glass. Over time, it nourishes your tissues from the inside out. But nutrients aren't just about collagen. Another overlooked player is vitamin E. Vitamin E is fat-soluble and integrates directly into cell membranes, preventing them from becoming brittle. Applied topically, vitamin E oil has been shown to reduce vaginal dryness and irritation. Internally, it protects against oxidative stress, which is one of the silent accelerators of tissue aging. That's why I recommend a combination. Consume vitamin E-rich foods like almonds, sunflower seeds, and avocado, and also apply vitamin E oil directly, once or twice per week. Let's not forget hyaluronic acid. Most people associate hyaluronic acid with skin creams, but your body naturally produces it as a lubricant in joints, eyes, and tissues. Supplementing with hyaluronic acid or using vaginal gels that contain it can be transformative. One study compared hyaluronic acid gels with low-dose estrogen creams and found the results were nearly identical for relieving dryness. The difference? Hyaluronic acid has no hormonal risks. You can find oral supplements or vaginal applications that restore moisture by literally pulling water into your tissues. Now let's pause for a moment. Think about the 3 pillars we've built so far: circulation with L-arginine, tissue strength with collagen and vitamin C, and moisture retention with vitamin E and hyaluronic acid. Together, these address the root causes of dryness, not just the symptoms. But I want to take you even further. Let's talk about phytonutrients that specifically target the vaginal ecosystem. One of my favorites is resveratrol, found in red grapes and Japanese knotweed. Resveratrol is a polyphenol that activates sirtuins, proteins that slow cellular aging. In vaginal tissues, this means thicker lining, better elasticity, and more moisture. You don't need wine to get it. A daily supplement of resveratrol or a handful of grapes and blueberries can offer steady support. Another phytonutrient is curcumin, the active compound in turmeric. Curcumin is anti-inflammatory. Inflammation is often overlooked in vaginal dryness. When tissues are inflamed, they can't produce lubrication properly. Adding turmeric to your meals or taking a bioavailable curcumin supplement reduces that inflammation and restores balance. Here's something very practical: a golden milk recipe. Warm 1 cup of almond milk, stir in half a teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, and half a teaspoon of coconut oil. Drink this before bed. The turmeric reduces inflammation, the pepper increases absorption, and the coconut oil adds healthy fat for tissue repair. Over time, women often notice less burning and more comfort. Now let's return to the microbiome. I told you earlier about probiotics, but here's the next step: prebiotics. These are fibers that specifically feed good bacteria. Foods like asparagus, onions, garlic, and Jerusalem artichoke contain inulin, a prebiotic fiber that strengthens lactobacillus. When your microbiome thrives, it produces lactic acid, which directly supports lubrication. Without prebiotics, probiotics won't work as well. So the key is both together: probiotic foods daily and prebiotic vegetables several times per week. For women with recurrent infections or irritation, one advanced option is boric acid suppositories. These are not for everyone, but they are safe when used correctly under guidance. Boric acid helps restore vaginal pH and eliminate yeast or bacterial overgrowth. Many women who thought they had permanent dryness discover that what they really had was a microbiome imbalance, and boric acid resets it. We must also talk about circulation in another way. Movement. I mentioned pelvic floor exercises earlier, but cardiovascular exercise is equally powerful. Walking, swimming, cycling, all of these pump blood throughout the body, including the pelvis. Some women notice more natural lubrication within weeks of starting a consistent exercise routine. It doesn't have to be intense, just 20 to 30 minutes a day. The key is consistency. Now let me foreshadow what's coming next, because it's the part almost nobody talks about. Later, I'll reveal the role of adaptogenic herbs, plants that regulate hormones indirectly by supporting your stress response. These herbs don't add hormones, but they balance the entire system so your body can use what little estrogen it has more effectively. Herbs like maca, ashwagandha, and black cohosh can be game changers. But before we get there, I want to address one more critical element: the nervous system. You see, lubrication isn't just mechanical, it's neurological. Your brain sends signals through your spinal cord to your vaginal tissues, triggering arousal and moisture. If those nerve pathways are weak, lubrication suffers. The solution? Stimulating your nervous system with simple practices. For example, gentle self-massage of the inner thighs and lower abdomen increases nerve activity. Some women benefit from acupuncture, which has been shown to enhance pelvic blood flow and nerve sensitivity. Others find that mindfulness-based practices during intimacy rewire the brain-body connection. So let's review where we are. We've added circulation boosters like L-arginine, collagen builders like vitamin C and glycine, lubricants like vitamin E and hyaluronic acid, phytonutrients like resveratrol and curcumin, and microbiome supporters like prebiotics and probiotics. We've reinforced the role of exercise and begun to hint at the nervous system and adaptogens. In the next part, I'll show you exactly how to combine all of these into a daily and weekly routine that doesn't feel overwhelming. You'll see how just 10 to 15 minutes a day can transform your tissues over time. And I'll finally reveal the adaptogenic herbs that restore vitality from the inside out, without a single drop of synthetic hormones. Now it's time to talk about something that bridges the gap between body and mind: adaptogenic herbs. These are plants that don't force your hormones in one direction, but instead regulate your stress response, energy, and resilience. For women experiencing dryness without wanting hormones, adaptogens can be a lifeline. Let's begin with maca root. Maca comes from the high Andes of Peru, where it's been used for centuries as a fertility and vitality tonic. Modern research shows maca doesn't increase estrogen directly. Instead, it works through the hypothalamus and pituitary, your brain's master glands that regulate sex hormones. By calming cortisol and supporting the adrenal glands, maca allows your body to make better use of its remaining estrogen. Women who take maca regularly often report improved libido, better mood, and a return of natural lubrication. It comes in powder form, easy to add to smoothies or oatmeal, and the typical dose is 1 to 3 teaspoons daily. Another powerful adaptogen is ashwagandha. Native to India, ashwagandha is known for lowering cortisol and reducing anxiety. Remember earlier we said high cortisol diverts blood away from the pelvis? By calming cortisol, ashwagandha literally frees up circulation for vaginal tissues. It also improves sleep, which is critical for tissue repair. A daily supplement of 300 to 600 milligrams can make a noticeable difference in just a few weeks. Then there's black cohosh, one of the most studied herbs for menopause. Black cohosh doesn't act as estrogen, but it binds to serotonin receptors in the brain, which indirectly reduces hot flashes, improves mood, and eases vaginal discomfort. In Europe, black cohosh is widely prescribed as a safe alternative to hormone therapy. The usual dose ranges from 20 to 40 milligrams of standardized extract daily. Together, maca, ashwagandha, and black cohosh form a trio that supports mood, stress response, and circulation, 3 invisible factors that contribute to dryness. These herbs don't work overnight, but over several weeks, they help reset your body's internal balance so natural lubrication returns. Now let's put everything into a practical framework. It's one thing to know about nutrients and herbs. It's another to implement them without feeling overwhelmed. I've designed a simple daily and weekly routine that women can follow. Morning routine. Begin with a glass of mineral-rich water. Spring water or filtered water with a pinch of sea salt and a squeeze of lemon. This primes your hydration system. Take your foundational supplements, collagen peptides mixed in your morning drink, vitamin C, 500 to 1,000 milligrams, and, if desired, an omega-3 capsule. Add maca powder to your breakfast, whether it's a smoothie, oatmeal, or yogurt. This sets the stage for balanced energy and libido throughout the day. Midday routine. Focus on circulation. Take a brisk 20-minute walk after lunch or practice 5 minutes of pelvic floor pumping exercises. This drives fresh blood into your vaginal tissues. Include prebiotic vegetables in your lunch, something like asparagus, onions, or garlic, to nourish your microbiome. If you're supplementing with L-arginine, midday is an excellent time to take it, especially if you're active afterward. Evening routine. Make a golden milk with turmeric, black pepper, and coconut oil to reduce inflammation and prepare your body for deep sleep. If dryness is bothersome, apply a small amount of vitamin E oil or a hyaluronic acid gel vaginally before bed. This works overnight to restore tissue moisture. Take ashwagandha or black cohosh in the evening to calm your nervous system and improve sleep quality. Weekly practices. Twice per week, enjoy a collagen-boosting smoothie with flax seeds, berries, and spinach. This delivers phytoestrogens, antioxidants, and amino acids in one recipe. Once or twice per week, consider a probiotic-rich food like kefir, sauerkraut, or kimchi. This helps restore vaginal flora naturally. If infections or pH imbalance are recurring issues, speak with your doctor about trying boric acid suppositories once a week. By breaking it down into small steps, this doesn't feel like a burden. Instead, it becomes a rhythm that slowly rewires your body. Within 4 weeks, many women report less irritation. By 8 to 12 weeks, lubrication returns. And by 6 months, the tissues are noticeably stronger, more elastic, and more comfortable during intimacy. Now let's make it practical with a weekly calendar. You don't need to do everything at once. Think of this as a rhythm you can settle into. Daily essentials. Morning. Glass of mineral water with pinch of salt plus squeeze of lemon. Collagen peptide powder plus vitamin C in smoothie or water. Maca powder added to breakfast. Midday. 20 to 30 minutes walk or 5 minutes pelvic floor pumping. Lunch with a prebiotic vegetable, garlic, onions, asparagus. L-arginine supplement, if using. Evening. Golden milk. Turmeric, black pepper, coconut oil, ashwagandha or black cohosh capsule, vitamin E or hyaluronic acid gel before bed, 2 to 3 nights weekly. Weekly add-ons, 2 to 3 times per week, collagen-boosting smoothie, collagen powder plus flax seeds plus blueberries plus spinach, 2 times per week. Fermented foods, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, once per week. Gentle body massage of inner thighs and lower abdomen to stimulate nerve pathways, if needed. Boric acid suppository, 1 time per week. Under guidance. Recipes you can rotate. Morning smoothie, collagen powder, banana, flax seeds, handful spinach, almond milk. Lunch salad, greens, chickpeas, pumpkin seeds, rich in L-arginine. Olive oil dressing. Evening golden milk, almond milk plus turmeric plus black pepper plus coconut oil. Follow this calendar for 4 to 6 weeks consistently. You'll begin to notice small shifts, maybe less irritation at first, then gradual return of natural moisture, and eventually comfortable intimacy. Now, before we conclude, I want to emphasize something that's easy to miss. This isn't just about dryness. It's about reclaiming confidence, intimacy, and vitality. When you restore your tissues, you restore a part of yourself. And this change doesn't just affect your physical body. It affects your mood, your relationships, and your sense of self-worth. But there's one final mindset shift I want to leave you with, and I'll share it in the conclusion. Because once you understand it, every step you've learned today will become easier to follow and far more powerful. Here's the truth most women were never told. Vaginal dryness is not inevitable. It is not permanent, and it does not mean your body has failed you. It's simply a signal that your tissues need nourishment, your circulation needs stimulation, your microbiome needs balance, and your nervous system needs calm. Once you respond to that signal with the right steps, your body has the ability to regenerate, no matter your age. We've covered hydration, electrolytes, and circulation. We've explored nutrients like L-arginine, collagen, vitamin C, vitamin E, and hyaluronic acid. We've talked about the power of healthy fats, probiotics, and prebiotics. We've uncovered herbs like masa, ashwagandha, and black cohosh that support your body without hormones. And we've seen how lifestyle, movement, sleep, stress reduction directly influences vaginal health. But here's the deeper truth. This isn't just about tissues. It's about how you see yourself. Many women silently accept dryness as a punishment of aging, a cruel sign that youth and intimacy are behind them. That belief itself is corrosive. It creates shame, silence, and distance. I want you to let go of that belief right now. Your body is not betraying you. It is asking for care in a new way. And when you give it that care, it responds. Think of this next phase of your life not as decline, but as adaptation. Menopause shifts your body, yes, but it doesn't erase your ability to feel pleasure, closeness, and vitality. In fact, many women discover deeper intimacy after menopause because they are more confident, more self-aware, and more willing to prioritize their own needs. Addressing dryness is not just about restoring comfort. It's about reclaiming that confidence. So here's your clear, actionable path forward. Start your mornings with hydration and collagen support. Move your body daily to pump blood into your tissues. Feed your microbiome with prebiotic vegetables and probiotic foods. Add adaptogenic herbs like masa and ashwagandha for resilience. Support your tissues topically with vitamin E or hyaluronic acid. Protect your sleep and lower your stress so your body can heal. None of these steps alone is a miracle, but together, consistently, they create transformation. This is how women like Maria, Cynthia, and Helen turned years of pain into renewed intimacy and joy. And this is how you can too. I'll leave you with this. Your body still remembers how to be moist, elastic, and alive. The pathways are still there. They just need to be reopened. Every glass of mineral-rich water, every collagen smoothie, every walk in the sun, every probiotic meal, every moment of rest, it's all sending the same message to your body. You are cared for. You are nourished. You are safe. And when your body receives that message, it responds with the gift of natural lubrication. So don't accept dryness as your new normal. Don't silence yourself out of embarrassment. Don't wait for someone else to hand you a solution. You now hold the tools. Use them. Start today. Because the sooner you begin, the sooner your body remembers what it's capable of. And when you do, you won't just end dryness. You'll rediscover a part of yourself you thought was gone, not broken, not aging away, simply waiting to be reawakened.